Hello and welcome to BKLive. Thank you so much for being here. It's a lovely day and we're glad to have our guest. Number one in them is that no one can deny that in terms of the culture's attitude towards gay and lesbian people, it's very different than things were in 5 or 10 years ago. But for people who identify as transgender, we still have a long way to go.
BDotDillinger, a transgender rapper. Lots to talk about today.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
So it's a good day when all of you are around the table on any day, but it's especially great now because we're getting ready to celebrate the International Trans Day of Remembrance. So these organizations are out there changing things legislatively and moving in the right direction to make sure we're all get our rights. But I know I was at the Latex Ball, and there's a brick wall outside the community, and you need people to go on iTunes. You need everybody to buy your records. So how are you dealing with that as a performer?
It's definitely a struggle. I still face struggles from day to day, and I'm glad that I'm actually a mother of a house. I'm the mother of the House of Ebony.
Okay.
So music-wise, it's still a struggle because people don't want to identify with a transgender coming out being a rapper in hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? I think if I stayed in my community, which is the LGBT community, it would be a little bit more easier for me to elevate and climb up the ladder.
Right.
I took the hard road, and I said, you know, me being up under Foxy Brown and a couple of others, I said, you know what? Let me just have my feet step inside of hip hop and be daring, and then you have people that ask you, what do you want to rap about? And I'm like, I'm a gangstress, like I'm a rapper, like I come from back in the days with Special Ed, Cool Modi, KRS-One, and classic hip hop. So there's no way that I'm trying to be something other than that. So that's what I want to rap about, like Jadakiss, Jay-Z, like I tip my hats to guys like that. I call myself the transgendered Foxy Brown of hip hop. You know what I mean? And men find it hard. I think they find it hard because it's like by me looking so much as a woman, it kind of questions their sexuality. So it's like nobody wants to be not saying that they're attracted to me, but nobody wants to be first. We don't know. I can't simply say that people are attracted to me or whatever. But I know that nobody wants to be first and say that I brought out the first transgender hip hop.
But and I'm sorry to take us down this road, but this is like the cultural thing. There's like there's an idea about rights and all of this high level stuff, but people are talking at their dinner table about rappers, and this is a way in for the community. We got Frank Ocean as like the hip hop gay guy who's neither hip hop or like he's not. Everyone's saying, who's the gay rapper? So you're kicking in the door culturally.
Yes, I am, and it's still difficult. I think that if I was a regular gay male, it would have been a lot easier because like even sometimes when I sit down at meetings, they're like, okay, well, we won't have to discuss your sexuality. We're not going to put this on the front line. And I'm like, no, we are going to put this on the front line. I do want to come out as a transgendered hip-hop artist. And they're like, okay, that's when the phone calls stop. And you know what I mean? A lot of people don't want to have the meetings anymore.
Would Foxy Brown ever walk into a meeting and they say, well, let's not discuss your sexuality. Let's go. Or any Lil' Kim or Beyonce. So how is having a representation like BDot of someone who's out there in the culture and telling these stories in a way that is like the poetry of our generation help the transgender cause?
I think it's excellent. I mean, she's definitely breaking down barriers and breaking down those stigma. That the trans community faces.
All right, BDot, when you're sitting here with your Grammy next year, what's going to be the end in 2014?
Basically, judgment and discrimination. And I think that's why I put myself on the front line, so that we can bridge the gap as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has somebody gay in their family. Whether they're lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual, something is going on within the families that we overlook. So with me being an artist, like I'm putting myself on the front line for my whole community, the whole LGBT community. It's not just about me. I'm not being selfish. I'm saying, look, this is what it is, and we can musically come together and make productive music that can sell. Like you said, Frank Ocean, you know what I'm saying? There can be a BDotDillinger on somebody's shelf. Puff Daddy can sign someone such as myself. Like you have Akon that signed Jeffree Star, which is a transgendered Caucasian. You understand what I'm saying? And gave him $1 million. And it's amazing what they'll do outside of the Black community. But when it's someone such as myself, African American, it's like,
now you're taking us down a whole
different
So we invite you all to come back.
Yes, definitely, most definitely, and
But
thank you so
Chanel
much for having us.
and BDot from our iPod. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it.